Hey everybody, how you doing? Tom Barnas here. Stories from the 78. Can you believe it's already snowed out and it's only like the beginning of November? It was 90 degrees not even a month ago in October, and here we are. It never seems like a predicted time to be inside always or outside always. So you just kind of wing it. Go outside, enjoy nature. And I know a lot of folks don't have cars or they don't choose not to own cars, but there's a lot of places that you can access trail wise with the help of public transportation, either the Metra, the South Shoreline, the CTA. It goes all over. That is why this book is awesome. Chicago Transit Hikes from my friend Lindsay Welbers. This is all things trails and anything else that you can find within the Chicago area without owning a car. So with the help of the CTA, like I said before, or the Metra lines or the Union Pacific line, the Metra line that goes north and whatnot, this gives you an idea of all of the trails that you can visit and explore. There's more to life than downtown, folks. There really is. The lakefront is beautiful and the lakefront trail is wonderful, but there's so much on the south side. The North Shore is gorgeous. You got bluffs overlooking a lake. That's why I want to talk to my friend Lindsay all about it now for this story from the 78. Lindsay, I love this book. How you doing?
I'm all right. And how are you, Tom?
I'm doing well. I really enjoyed your book or your guide, more or less. I mean, it's just this fantastic little, it's so handy and like perfect to like put in your backpack and just like go and explore, right?
Yep. We did that on purpose. We wanted it to be a little on the skinny side specifically so you could do that.
And what was the reasoning for this? Are you an avid hiker or were you
Yeah.
just love going enjoying what the city has to offer, the outlining areas of the city?
Well, all of it. Yeah. Yes to all of it. So this is the second edition. When I first wrote the first edition, um, well, let me take a step back.
Sure.
Before I wrote the first edition, I was living in Logan Square and it was really pretty great. I was in, um, one of those apartments on like Whipple and Armitage, and
Hmm.
there was trees everywhere. I could walk to the blue line and be under the tree canopy the entire time. And I really never stopped to think that I wasn't connected to nature. Like it was just very easy to feel like kind of you were in nature all the time, even though, you're in Logan Square. It's one of the
Yeah.
most densey city neighborhoods we've got. And then I could afford to buy a house, but not in Logan Square. So I moved further up the blue line. Now I'm up here in Jefferson Park. And it
We're
is
neighbors.
oh, hi.
Yeah, I'm right by
Uh,
Superdog.
oh, nice. I am a little further south by like Central and Milwaukee.
Oh,
So
I
yeah,
am
we are
really
pretty close.
close. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
at Austin and like technically I'm at Austin and like where Austin and Elston meet.
Yeah. Yeah. Not far at all.
No.
So, when I moved up here, and I grew up in the middle of the woods, so I went directly from the woods to the city, and it gets a little more like traditionally suburban up here with the little postage stamp. I don't know what to do with the little postage stamp lawns. I still don't quite know how to deal with it. So my question to myself was, where can I go and feel connected to nature near my new apartment, or sorry, near my new house?
Uh-huh.
And so I'm here on the blue line, so that was pretty easy. And then we've got two Metra lines within a mile of my house down here.
Yeah.
So I just took a look at all the maps and I looked at the train line. So sincerely, where can I get into the woods from my new place? And then once I'd figured out that process, I just did it for the rest of the train lines. And then we had a book.
That's fantastic. What's the first forest preserve or trail or whatever that you found that was the closest to where you live?
Oh, that would be Ted Woods, which
Ted
is,
Woods?
well, I don't know how to pronounce the last name. It's really Polish. It's Ted. Oh, I could spell it for you. Hold on. I'm going to Google it before I go do it. Ted Woods is in the Forest Preserve. It's a little north of like Labaw Woods. Thaddeus as Ted Lekowitz, maybe Lechowicz.
Lekowitz sounds good. I mean, that's a
Yeah,
solid Polish last name.
Lekowitz. But I
Yeah.
am guessing, and the fine Lekowitz family hears this. They have every right to come and yell at me.
Where exactly is that though, that particular parcel of land?
That one's on. It's actually not at all far from both of us. It's right on Central.
Uh-huh.
Not just a little south of Edgebrook, actually. If Peterson is on the northern side of it, so Peterson and Central would be the northern branch of it.
Oh, I think I've ridden my bike through there 100
You
times.
definitely have ridden your bike through
Is it
there.
part of the North Branch Trail? Is
Yes.
that
You know
in?
that
Yeah.
spot where it's got that little bridge that goes over the river?
Yes.
There.
Ah, yeah, because you always think of that area as Caldwell Woods, but I think
Yep.
Caldwell is actually on north of Devon.
It might be. What we've really got is just a bunch of itty bitty little parks that are all
Yeah,
just kind of, and they're, it's actually one gigantic park because Ted let, whoever Ted was, we named it in honor of
fantastic, man.
him, and then
Yeah,
he probably was, must have been.
yeah.
So it makes it a little different because if it were, any other place, we would just say, I go to the forest preserves up there by the river, but that's not how it works here. So it's like 3, 5, 8. Yeah, and then you get up to Bunker Hill, and
Oh, Bunker Hill, I've been. Yeah.
yeah.
So you say that that's how people say here. Where are you from then?
Where am I from? I am
Yeah, you
from.
said you were from the woods. I remember
I
you saying
am.
earlier.
Do you know where Starved Rock is?
Yeah, of course.
It's half an hour west of that, middle of
Ah,
nowhere,
okay, in the woods.
in the woods.
Oh, so you appreciate a good fairy tale, I imagine.
I do. I
Yeah.
do.
Okay. Sorry, it's random.
No, it was a great place to grow up because we were in the Illinois River Valley, and so I grew up on one of the little creeks that lead into the Illinois River. So the river is huge. I didn't play there as a kid, but all of the little creeks and tributaries in my backyard. So not flat, lots of topography back there.
You know who did play there when they were a kid?
Who?
Ted.
He probably did.
Probably did. I don't know. Just kidding. Just bring it back to Ted. Sorry, get back on topic here. So you looked at the train lines and you
Yep.
found the trails that were close.
Yep.
And when I was doing the intro, I was thinking, people, I think, have the wrong perception of like Illinois, for one.
Oh,
They just
totally.
think it's flat.
Yep.
And then Chicago, too, for 100 other reasons. But, I've worked in this city for over 20 years, and I realized that our forest preserves around the city are gigantic. I think they're the second largest forest preserves outside of like national parks in the
Mhm.
country. I don't know
They're
who's
way
number
up there.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they go on and on and on
Yep.
forever. Like if you look at a map of like the entire state, you can see where like especially around like Cook County, the forest
Hmm.
reserves of Cook County are just massive. So there's more to like enjoying nature in
Yep.
Chicago, especially than the lakefront path, which is great and it's beautiful and I love
Yep.
it. But you mentioned Logan Square, and you got like the 606 that kind of cruises through Logan Square, among other areas in the
606,
city.
all the boulevards, Palmer Square. Palmer Square
Palmer
does a
Square.
lot of heavy lifting.
But yeah, Palmer Square is like a fun little oasis in the middle of the city because it's just like this. There's a lot of, isn't it now an arboretum?
It is an arboretum, but it's also got a really fascinating. It was the first. I think it was a. I don't know if it was officially a velodrome, but it was one of the first bike tracks ever made in the history of bike tracks.
Yeah, that's very true.
And they would, and so now it's the walking path that around Palmer Square, but and that was because the founder of the Schwinn Bicycle
Showing
Company
bicycles. Yeah.
used to live right there on that corner, where the little elementary school is now.
Isn't that, I,
It's
so when
crazy.
I do these stories with people, we find like, I knew that story from before, from doing an interview like this. And I was like, no way. But
Yep.
Chicago's filled with hundreds of those stories because
Yep.
so much happened here. So much of why we do things in the world, it started here so randomly, but like, yeah, like the Schwinn bicycle and the
Yep.
velodrome. And then there was another one on the far south side, like Hegwish-ish,
Yep.
way down there. But speaking of Hegwish, that is surrounded by a lot of forest preserves or nature preserve areas now in a former area that used to be full of steel mills and it was really
Hmm.
gritty. Now you go down there and there is just beautiful nature everywhere. I imagine it was probably a lot of fun. I mean, did you go explore all these places that you found or
Not
were
all
you
of them, but a
curious?
lot of them.
I know it'd probably
Uh,
take you a good while, right?
it did. It did. I did a feasibility study on absolutely every single one of them, though. So just for the record, we didn't just take some wild ideas and go, I don't know, that looks good. No, we there were definitely. I didn't get to all of them. I got to a lot of them, just a lot. And I'm still working my way through them. I think I went through, got like three of the 6 camping spots out this summer. It was great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I want to finish the rest, but it's snowing now, so
Yeah, no, not now. A little
yeah.
chilly.
Um, Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, what was the one that surprised you the most? Where you were just like, how is
Oh,
this in Illinois? Seriously.
there's actually kind of a bunch of them that were like that. Shoot, what is the There were a lot of them. A lot. The answer to that is a lot. So when when let's so when people think of Chicago, people who've never been here, a lot of this, and we're going to be very generous and surface level in what they think. They
Yeah.
think of steel, they think of glass. They don't even necessarily think of the lake because you kind of have to live here to remember that we have the lake.
Yeah, that's
So
very true.
when I go look, and so finding a lot, there's a shocking amount of topography that I can find for you. If you want a mountain, good luck. Go find a mountain. I can't help you there, but I can get you a good hill to walk up down.
Yeah.
And it was really I'd say the diversity of landscapes that was really most shocking to me. Because I wasn't surprised by anyone in particular, but when you say, okay, I'm only going within the space that I can get to on the Metra, and then you find sandstone bluffs, and they're in a way different spot than the sand dunes are. And I found one natural waterfall. We didn't build it. It's real. It's
Where?
here. It's out by Robinson Woods. There are a couple of, I want to say, Black Hawk War soldiers who got buried out there, and I think they probably died of cholera. So,
Huh.
but it would have been during the Black Hawk War, and
Yeah.
they were buried near the one waterfall. So, good for them. It's like 8 feet. It's not big, but it's there, and we didn't build it.
Take credit when we have it, right? 8
Yeah,
feet or
right.
not, it's still a waterfall, and
It's what we got.
yeah, it's not Niagara, but that's fine.
And even when it is really, really flat, the places that you tend to find intense flatness, we're not hiking around the cornfields. That's only so much fun. But when you do find, it tends to be, there's a couple of remnant prairies back there in the book. So a remnant prairie was never touched by a steel plow. It was as it would have been when we would have first settled the prairie state. And now we have dramatically fewer prairies than we used to. So the fact that we could still find a few that have never seen a steel plow, original, unadulterated, and
What
there's a few of those
what part of the state are those in?
in the book.
Well, I know they're in the but do you remember where about ish?
Where was it? I mean, they're all in there.
I'm
There's a
calling.
couple.
To be fair, I'm cold calling all of these on you. I apologize, but I was just curious if you know it's fine. It was just I know it was in the book, and that's what people can explore when
Yeah.
they're exploring the book for sure.
One, and it's not transit adjacent, but the biggest local remnant prairie that I can think of off the top of my head is the Wolf Road Prairie. And if you want to
Oh,
get a bicycle, it would actually be pretty easy to get to from the train. And I don't think they have too many interior hiking trails, but the Wolf Road Prairie is the biggest prairie that never got altered. So that one's
so
pretty neat.
Wolf Road, that's like southwest because I
Yeah, I
grew
think
up.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up around there, and Wolf Road was like the oh, you're far kind of road because it was out in the middle of nowhere because there was a lot of forest preserve because I live like off of like LaGrange
Hmm.
and 107th
Oh,
Street.
way down there. Cool.
Yeah, so so when I ran cross country in high school, and where did we go? We ran in the woods, like all over the like Bullfrog Lake and
Yep.
Maple Lake and all of that stuff, which just again, when I meet people that are not from here and I talk about these areas, they're like, "Where are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's like where I grew up. Like it's not far." And then we'll go out there like to Maple Lake or something, and we'll go hiking in the woods, and
Hmm.
they're like, this is not what I thought Illinois was, and
Nope.
certainly not like Chicago. And which I guess is the point of the book to really kind of show people all of this exists, and it's all. And the beauty of it is you did it where people don't even have to take a car; they can hop on the
Yep.
train, they can hop on the sea. When I mean the train, like the Metra or the
Yep.
South Shore train, the electric train, or what have you, or
Yep.
the CTA itself, the bus, or the actual L train subway. Yeah,
Yep. I
was
for the sake of brevity, I did not include the bus in the book, and that is literally only for the sake of brevity. If I had included the bus, we could have gotten to so many more places. The book would be a lot thicker. I with the overarching like theme that I keep coming back to is that it doesn't matter where you want to go. I can find you a really nice place to be outside in that corner of the Chicagoland area.
Oh, for sure. But
for
at
sure.
the end of any of these lines that are in the city, at least the CTA like train lines, there's a
Yep,
bus stop usually right outside. So if you want a little bit more, I mean, you just gotta, I mean, everybody's got a phone, use the book where you're at,
totally.
and you can compass your way to there on a walking, or you can do the bus thing, or
Oh yeah,
or ride your bike, which you can do. I mean, you can take your bike on CTA and Metra, right?
you sure can.
Yeah, that's fun, man. So like,
It is.
what like as far as the one that you like love the most that you did, do you have like a favorite that you come back to? You're like, man, I just love going on this one.
I honestly, if you find me at Dunewood Campground in the Indiana Dunes National Park, probably every single year, at least once.
Yeah.
It's so well. First off, it's so close to the train. I think from the train station, which is Beverly Shores, to the separate area of the campground where they don't even allow cars. So it's all people who are carless over there. It cannot be more
Oh,
than 2 blocks. Just as you would walk, it can't be more than 10 minutes, maybe
so
less.
what train? So the Beverly Shores, you said
Yeah,
train. So
that's on
what
the South
train
Shore
line?
line.
South Shore line, and
South
that's the
Shore
one
line.
when you're on the Skyway. You kind of see it on off the side, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Like it's almost yeah. Okay,
Yep.
I
It
it's
goes
so
through some really beautiful spots, which I know you don't think about because it's that corner of Indiana, but it goes through some really beautiful spots down there.
So, if you're going from like Beverly Shores, I'm guessing that's near the Beverly neighborhood, right?
Beverly
Ish.
Shores is down in Indiana Dunes.
Oh, my
It
bad. No,
is
not well,
no,
ish,
that's
but no.
okay. We left Illinois. We're in Indiana now.
Got it.
So if
Got it.
you you get on the South Shore line, which you can get on at Millennium Station, that's where it ends, and you can ride it. I think all the way down to South Bend, but in Beverly Shores, which is a flag stop of all things. It's pretty great getting to do the flag stop. It's a lot of fun. You hit a button and a light flashes, but if you don't, the train won't stop.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not on a regular schedule unless they're waiting for somebody. Um,
Ah, yeah. Don't fall
but it's
asleep.
also Beverly Shores is the neighborhood of houses and people who live right there in that little spot, kind of tucked into the national park itself. Probably the nicest neighborhood in Indiana.
Wow. Oh, that's a fun little fact.
It is.
And so you catch it at the Millennium Station,
Yep.
downtown. And is there another station, or is there another stop before it gets out? See, I've never been on this. So, is there another station before you get out of Illinois? Do you
Yeah,
know?
there are a couple.
Right, like all on the southeast side of the city.
I think you can catch it really easily in Hyde Park. I want to
Hmm.
say the 53rd Street
Yeah,
station.
there's a couple of them. Yeah, the South Shore line
Yeah.
goes through there. Yeah, of course.
Before you leave the city, it stops at Millennium, Van Buren, the museum campus, 57th, 63rd, Hedgewish, and then you're into Hammett.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, very like under utilized line. I think that's the other thing. Like as for a city as big as we are, we're very accustomed to driving everywhere.
Yep.
But with construction the last 3 years on the Kennedy, if you didn't figure out how to use public transportation when you could have, that was your own fault for the
Yeah.
most part, right?
Don't
So
worry, you still got a chance.
yeah, and the South Shore, like you said, you go through some neighborhoods that a lot of people to just don't even know exist, like Hegwish, or even like Hyde Park is beautiful. South Shore neighborhood is beautiful,
It is.
especially with the cultural center right there, which does
Yep.
have the lakefront path that kind of will get you around it because you can go in the front and it's like all fenced off, but if you go back, you can kind of scoot your way through there, through like the secret way through the back by the golf course, and
Yep.
it's like you're in a different city. I guess that's the point of
That
all
one's
these
in the book
hikes.
too.
Yes, I did know that. But that's like the beauty of it because you like kind of explore the city and the surrounding areas. And especially, I love the stuff that you talked about going up north, like to the North Shore. Because
Mhm.
again, an area that a lot of Chicagoans might not even think about going outside of like wanting to take a picture in front of the Home Alone house.
Sure, and you can do that, but then there's lots of other neat stuff you can check on your way through or past, or yeah.
Does anything
What
up that way stick out to you?
up there? I would just keep going until you get to Zion if it were me, or even you don't even have to go that far because you can go to Fort Sheridan. You don't
Yes,
have
that
to
is
go
in
all
the
the way
book.
to Zion because you can go all the way to Fort Sheridan. Fort
Yeah.
Sheridan is so gorgeous, and I know what I'm about to say and what kind of weather we had today. Fort Sheridan is extra gorgeous in the wintertime. Uh,
Really? What?
I
Why?
think so anyway. I like a good winter hike first off. And there's fewer people around in the winter time, but
Sure.
because the lake freezes over and but you still have lake access up there. I like to pick up rocks. So here's some rocks that I've picked up. Um,
Okay.
and one I dropped. And this one I think actually did come from Fort Sheridan. It had a hole in it, so I took it home. Um,
That's fun.
and
Where
but it also has this really lovely sandstone bluff that historically we've got records of people calling attention to that bluff since the French first paddled through here. They came through. They said that's a nice bluff, and eventually, when it became a fort, and they had to hire a landscape architect to turn it into a place they could treat it as a fort. Um, that landscape architect still left the fort alone. Or I'm sorry, the bluff alone. He's like, it's too beautiful. We can't touch it. And he could have if that's what he wanted to do. They probably would have let him. But you could get the view of that is much better in the wintertime.
really?
I think so, because all the leaves are gone and you can just kind of see it. And somebody who's gonna Google this and look at pictures can call me crazy, and that's okay because we're all correct on this front.
I like it. Where exactly is Fort Sheridan?
It is.
Like,
It's actually, that one's another one that's really close to the Metra. It is the Fort Sheridan Metra stop, and then
man,
there
oh man.
is. I think it's directly across the street from the Metra station. And so then you're on a path into what is now the Nature Center.
Oh, that is so fun.
It
I
is.
mean, yeah, and it goes along with your book. Then I'll throw this up here again just because. But Chicago Transit hikes because we just talked about a couple places that I didn't even know about. I mean, I think I might have heard of Fort Sheridan like over
Yep.
there 20 years ago,
Yep.
but I didn't have any clue where it is. So the fact that you can take a Metra train, which is again the point, but taking a train where and just go like exploring. I mean, I remember when I first moved to the city years ago. I would go exploring on the CTA. I would just take it and go, and
Yep.
and that's how I discovered like the brown line because I was like, "Where's this brown line go to?" I have no idea where this thing goes. I just
And
always
then
see it
you
in the
get
loop.
stuck on that spot over the river, and you could stay there all day. Frankly,
Yeah,
it's the
you could.
best.
Yep. And then it gets down to street level, like at the Rockwell station, where you're like, "I'm so
Yeah.
confused. What is happening? I don't understand." But
Yeah,
that's the
but there's
beauty.
always, as soon as you get off at like Rockwell, there's like nothing but delicious food in that neighborhood. So
Yep.
magnificent.
Yep. Not bad at all. Well,
And you're still near the North Channel Trail, so there you go. You pick up the trail there.
yeah, I just gave you another one, huh?
It's there's so much. There is
Yeah.
so much. And I think even without like saying no to the bus, I think there was still a good at least half a dozen hikes that didn't make it in, that qualified according to all of my qualifications, but just didn't make it in for space reasons. Like there is so much more green space out there around Chicago than people even stop to think about.
Right, and I would even argue back to like the Hegwish area or
Mhm.
South Deering or all that down there, like Lake Calumet. There are so many things that used to be like steel mills for
Yep.
100 years that are now nature preserves, where you like can take like the service road that used to be the service road, and now
Yep.
it's like the only road that you can drive through, and you're just driving. You're like, where am I? Like, there's big mounds of, you know. Like a garbage dump that's now
Yeah.
not a garbage dump, and then it's
Yep.
like hiking trails, and you're like, this is Chicago. And then you like kind of get to a high top and you see like downtown sticking up just saying hi. You're like, this is incredible. Like, nobody knows about these things, and it's a shame because we people really should get out and explore all over our city, south, north, Indiana, west,
Yeah.
right?
There's even to exactly the point you're saying, the um Joliet Iron Works is in here, and I didn't know about the Joliet Iron Works until I'd gotten into this one. But it was the one of the first major iron works facilities in America.
Really? In Joliet, huh?
It was, and it kind of it. By that I mean the site, because it wasn't just like one company. It operated for close to a century. And
Wow.
that is already insane. But parts of it's almost like the operation, you know how like the Hawaiian Islands move a little bit every year because of volcanic reaction.
Sure.
Okay, it's a little like that, but for an ironworks site. So they had the initial building, and then they put up a newer building next to it, and then a newer building next to it. And eventually the old one would just literally became ruins. It is currently, and it would, but then the new building's over here. still functioning. So when all of the ironworks closed, the entire site just kind of rewilded itself. And then I think it was the 90s, they came through and cleaned up some of the invasive plants. And now they're just, letting it continue to be a ruin, but it's also it's proper outdoors now.
Oh, I did not know that. I mean, I knew Joliet had a lot of history,
Yep.
with Route 66 kind of going through there and a whole bunch of other things, obviously, and steel. The industry was big all over the south side of the city and the burbs, but Joliet's a little bit further away. So that's fun. I
Yep.
did not know that. And again, another train line to get you out there and to explore. And then you get to hang out in downtown Joliet, which could be a lot of fun. That they have I think I forgot the name of the theater that's down there.
Is that
Um,
the Remova?
no, that's in
No.
Bridgeport.
Then I
Um,
don't know.
I think it was the Rialto Square
Oh,
Theater or
that might be it.
something like that. Don't yell at me for not having the right name, but
I'm not
there
going
is a
to.
beautiful theater in downtown Joliet, and they got a baseball stadium down there for like some independent ball and
Yeah,
good times all around in Joliet. So,
it is.
um, you know what, Lindsay, I could talk to you all day about all this fun stuff, and it sounds like there's enough room for you with the buses and everything for like a
Oh, yeah.
volume 3 eventually.
Oh, I'd have to talk about that.
A
I'd
third
have to think
edition, I
about
should
that.
say.
I think we've had all the big ones out in edition 2. We did have to do some updating. Um, I've told a bunch of people this, so it's not a secret. I kicked out the Chicago Botanic Garden. They were in the first edition, and that was great because first off, they're right there on the North Branch Trail,
Yeah.
and the Chicago Botanic Garden's so big and so beautiful. And under their old pricing structure, cars paid to enter, but people didn't. So if you show up on a bicycle or if you show up on foot, you would have gotten free entry. They rejiggered their admittance fees, and now people almost cost more to get in than cars do. And
Really?
it made me mad. It made me so
That
mad
makes
that
me mad too. Then you
yeah,
discourage people to go to see the thing.
right. Unless you have a bunch of money you want to pay. And that was not at the heart of what I wanted to do. So unfortunately, we kicked them out. But fortunately, that made space. So we put in the Major Taylor Trail instead, and the Major Taylor Trail connects two big old forest preserves down on the southwest side. And one of them is, I think, Whistler Woods, and that's a real big one. And then we get to so it's down on the south side. So who doesn't love the south side? And then we get to talk about Major Taylor, and Major Taylor was this is going to be a little convoluted. He was the first fastest black man in the world, or the first black fastest man in the world. Point is, that's a lot.
That is a lot, yeah.
That is a lot. So when
and he should have a damn forest preserve named after him.
Right. He's actually got a bunch of cycling clubs left. He was super, super cool. So he grew up after he was an African American man. He grew up after the Civil War, when a bicycle is a brand new piece of technology. It didn't exist before, and it did when he was a kid. So he used to put on like a soldier's uniform, which of course the war's been over. So it's just a kid on a bicycle in a soldier's uniform doing bike tricks out front of a local bike shop. And that's how he earned the nickname Major Taylor. He was never in the military. But but when he eventually did, when he became Major Taylor, a lot of the races were explicitly whites only, which is obviously dumb, but they did it anyway. And he would like literally wait behind a bush with his bicycle and wait for everyone else to go, and then come from behind and just win the race.
Oh, that's awesome.
And just basically dare them. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I beat you all.
I've never heard this story. This is fantastic. This is on the south side. Do you know what area of the south side off the top of your head?
Off the top of my
I keep putting you on the spot.
I want to say somewhere in the Roseland region. Do you know where the highway splits off?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's around there.
By Chicago State University is right around there where it splits.
So, yeah, somewhere down there.
Okay, so I got up there. There's a whole bunch of research I got to do just on Major
Taylor.
Major Taylor. Yeah, on the south side. For sure, when you say south side woods, I automatically think of the Dan Ryan woods.
I think they're in there. They've got to be in there.
That's like in the Beverly area, but there's a bike path that goes through there, and it connects to a meadery. If you know what a meadery. Yeah.
MEAD? Oh, that'd be a fun one.
Yeah, like a winery, but meadery, where they're making, alcohol from honey.
That sounds delightful.
It is delightful. I've had a good time there. So, and it's a hidden gem on the south side, but it like their backyard opens up to the Dan Ryan Woods, and like my family, they're all kind of from that area. My dad's generation, and they used to go
Mhm.
like sledding and everything else in those woods
Oh,
in the
nice.
winter time. So yeah, good times.
Yeah. You gotta have a good sledding hill.
Yeah. Do you have any like book signings or anything you got coming up for the holidays, or you just want people to go to a website to buy or anything like that?
I actually don't have any coming up. I No. That was a good question, but I don't right now.
Well, you
And
have to
if
get
we're
on
gonna
it.
to direct them anywhere, send them to the University of Illinois Press or their favorite local bookstore. Don't send them to Amazon.
Right, right on.
Yeah,
Perfect. I agree 100%. Well,
cool.
Lindsay, it's been lovely talking to you.
You
Thank you so
too.
much
I
for
know
taking
I have
time.
stumbled across the 78 before, but it's always like, well, I mean, the work I read was very thoughtfully done, but it's like, who is this guy?
I
So I'm glad
appreciate
you
it.
went
Yeah,
back
no,
to it.
I'm trying. I'm just trying to give people a spot to find out anything that has to do with Chicago, or even
Yeah,
sometimes not. If it's a fun story, it's a fun story. But mostly Chicago, just because I feel like our city gets crapped on enough, and
yeah, yeah.
there's so much good in our city. And because I mean, I know lots of people from the city, and they're all wonderful people.
Mhm.
So we all can't be bad, and this place can't all be bad. So,
I
and
went all the way downtown and back today. I didn't even see any murders. No, I didn't. No murders. No evidence of murders. It was a
praise the
very safe
Lord.
time. Uh, they even let me sit on the Metra train for like 15 minutes, so I didn't have to stand outside in the cold before it
Oh,
left.
see, look at that. The little still people say Southern hospitality is all the bee's knees. My ass,
Uh-uh.
because the Midwest is
Chicago
just as nice.
hospitality for me.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you for taking time to chat with me,
Of
Lindsay.
course.